Sharing my screen. Entire screen. So you are able to see my screen now? Yes, now you can see. Sri Sukha Uvacha Iti Abhishtviya Purusham Yadrupam Anidam Yatha Brahmesanu Purdhayo Devaha Pratiyayurdivam. Sri Sukha Uvacha Iti Abhishtviya Purusham Yadrupam Anidam Yatha Brahmeshanu Purodhaya Devaha Pratiyayurdivam. Synonyms. Sri Sukha Vacha. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, Iti, in this way, Abhishtuya, offering prayers, Purusham, unto the Supreme Personality, Yat Rupam, whose form, Anidam, transcendental, Yatha, as Brahma, Lord Brahma, Isanu, and Lord Shiva, Purodhaya, keeping them in front, Devaha, all the demigods, Pratiyayuhu, returned, Divam, to their heavenly homes. Translation. After thus offering prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the transcendence, all the demigods with Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva before them return to their home in the heavenly planet. Purport. It is said, अद्यापिह चैतन्य सबलीला करे जार भाग्य थाके से देखे निरंतरे. Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya 23.5.3. The incarnations of Supreme Personality of Godhead appear continuously like the waves of a river or an ocean. There is no limit to the incarnations, but they can be perceived only by devotees who are fortunate. The devatas, the demigods, fortunately understood the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus they offered their prayers. Then Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma led the demigods in returning to their home. The word Kuksi Gataha, meaning within the womb of Devaki, has been discussed by Sri Jiva Goswami in his Karma Sandarbha commentary. Since it was said at first that Krishna was present within the heart of Vasudeva and was transferred to the heart of Devaki, Sri Jiva Goswami writes, how is it that Krishna was now in the womb? He replies that there is no contradiction. From the heart of the heart, the Lord can go to the womb, or from the womb, he can go to the heart. Indeed, he can go or stay anywhere, as confirmed in the Brahma Samhita 5.35. Andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. The Lord can stay wherever he likes. Devaki, therefore, in accordance with the desire of her former life, now had the opportunity to seek the benediction of having the Supreme Personality of Godhead as her son Devaki Nandana. Hare Krishna. So here Vasudeva, the father of Supreme Personality of Godhead is Sri Krishna, eh, whose heart Lord Krishna appeared first. So it is not that Lord Krishna was not present in the heart of Lord Vasudeva. He is present in every living entity's heart. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrududese Arjuna tishtati. Not only Vasudeva, he is also present in every living entity's heart. Only thing, when Lord manifest his presence to the living entity, then living entity can understand that Lord is appearing in his heart. So Lord is present always, but there are two curtains, Yogamaya, Mahamaya. So one curtain is Mahamaya, when three modes of material nature, Sattva, Raja, and Tama, make the living entity completely bewildered in the phantasmagoria of the material world with so much temporary pleasures, or the games you may say, in this material world. Like Lord has created unlimited games for living entity to switch one game after another game to play to get some enjoyment. So these there are two kind of enjoyment Lord has set for us. One enjoyment is called temporary enjoyment, which will keep us binding in that and making us repeatedly go one after the other. So that is an intoxicated state or a bewildered state or a forgotten state. Forgetting original identity, living entity jumps after one and another. So at that state, he cannot realize the presence and work of Krishna. However, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hridayese Arjuna Tishtati. He is always sitting within the heart. Sarvasya Chaham Hrudi Sannivishto. Matah Smriti Jnanam Apohanam Cha. Bhagavad Gita 15.15. So he is sitting within the heart of every living entity. And from him only remembrance, forgetfulness, and knowledge comes. Smriti Jnana Apohanam. Forgetfulness is required. Otherwise, these so-called material games which gives us pleasure and pain need to be forgotten to start and refresh with a new game. So like that, we are trying one enjoyment, and after something happen to that, then we try another enjoyment. So for that we forget the old one, and that forget potency is facilitated by Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is sitting within the heart as Paramatma. So Smriti, Jnana, Apohanacha are continuously provided. When Lord become merciful, seeing the attempt of the living entity to remember him, to realize him, then he can manifest. Then the instructions or the interaction of Atma Paramatma, how Supreme Personality of Godhead guides the living entity, will be realized to living entity. Whenever he gives the blessings, then only living entity can realize the work of Krishna in his life. Supreme Personality of Godhead always perform various pastimes for the sake of the pleasure of the living entity and for the sake of upliftment or progress of living entity gradually towards liberations. ଅଦ୍ୟାପିହ ଚୈତନ୍ୟ এই সব লীলা করে যার ভাগ্য থাকে সে ଦେଖେ ନିରନ୍ତରେ ନିରନ୍ତରେ means always যার ভাগ্য থাকে who is fortunate enough. What is fortune? Fortune is that how much cultivation, devotional cultivation, how much practice of Krishna consciousness you undergo. Manamana Bhava, Madhu Bhakto, Madhu Jajima Namaskut. These are the most sublime basic steps one must take to become Krishna consciousness. Manamana, always thinking Krishna and always acting for the pleasure of Krishna. Manamana. Madhu Bhakto, becoming his devotee, Mother Jaji, worshipping him and offering him homages, pranam. This sublime process make a living entity remember Krishna, make a jiva remember Krishna. Adhyavadhi sei lila kare gora rai kono kono bhagyavan dekhibar pai. Another same sloka available in Chaitanya Bhagavat. So only fortunate living entity can see Supreme Personality of Godhead. जो माम पश्यति सर्वत्र सर्वम च मयि पश्यति तस्याहम न प्रणश्यति स च मे न प्रणश्यति. So those living entity who are always engaged in Krishna consciousness activities always try to remember Krishna. So he is never forgotten to Krishna and by Krishna. He will never forgetting Krishna and Krishna will never forget him. Krishna never forget any living entity, but the manifestations of Krishna in front of the living entity is continuous. We can see that Supreme Personality of Godhead is present in his heart and in every other living entity's heart. So wherever he sees, Soni Chaiva Supake, Brahmana Soni Sopaka, Sopacha. Means whether a dog or a Brahmana or a Chandala, everywhere you see that same Supreme Personality of Godhead is present. That is the stage of advancement. Supreme Personality of Godhead always try to help the living entity remember Supreme Personality of Godhead by all of his efforts. That's why, just like in the ocean, you can see continuous flow of waves. Similarly, Supreme Personality of Godhead have many incarnations. All these incarnations are there to perform various pastimes, assist the living entity, enjoy the permanent bliss. Permanent bliss one can get from the Sandhini Shakti of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The holy name, Nam Rupa Guna Lila. By the association of the energies of Supreme Personality of Godhead, such as the holy name, holy form, his divine pastimes, and his qualities. By this, one can remember Krishna. So, Krishna manifested in the womb of Devaki. He was already there in the heart of Devaki and just traveling from heart to womb or vice versa is his sweet will only. Others may think a great job or a difficult work that how Devaki get Krishna in her womb. But for Krishna, this is an easy job. Whenever he want, he can present at once. Supreme Personality of Godhead being pleased with Devaki's austerity, penances, and awarded the benediction that he will appear in the womb. To fulfill the benedictions, Lord Krishna entered into the womb of Mother Devaki. So Lord performed all the pastimes for the pleasure of the devotee. So there is nothing surprise that how Krishna appeared in the womb of Devaki. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. So he is present both in atom and molecule everywhere. Supreme Personality of Godhead has supreme will. So as per his supreme will, he expands into various forms. Are you able to see my presentation? Let us discuss more about various incarnations. सिग्नल कम आ रहा है आवाज बढ़ाने है या आवाज ब्रेक हो रहा है ब्रेक ब्रेक नहीं हो रहा है ठीक है तो मैं फिबल है उसका मतलब लेट मी चेक दैट आल्सो थोड़ा बढ़ाना है साउंड बढ़ाना है ना लेट मी डू दैट इनपुट oh its input volume is very low how is it now बहुत बढ़ गया है ठीक है so now we will discuss about what are the various incarnations how supreme personality of godhead take many incarnations just like uh, waves comes from the ocean. So Lord Krishna's expansions are like Chaturviha. The first expansion are called Chaturviha. Chaturviha are the quadruple. Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. So quadruples are again two quadruple. Then Purusha Avatara, like Karnada Kasai, Garbhoda Kasai, and Kirada Kasai. Three Purusha Avatara. And all the Vishnu Tattva and Lord Sadasiva. Similarly, internal energies, expansions like Sandhini Shakti, Nam, the holy name, his divine forms, Nam, Rupa, Guna, Lila, Dham, Avarana, Parikara, the associates, all are his Sandhini energy, Sambit, bestowed divine knowledge, Chit Shakti, the knowledge potency, and Hladini is the Ananda Shakti. Gopa Gopi Pariveshtitam. With this, Radharani is the master mistress of Ladini Shakti, from whom all the Gopa Gopi they join the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Ladini Shakti is the potency of Radharani, is the source of happiness. So Sandhini, Sambit, and Ladini. Sambit is Chit, Ladini is Ananda, and Sandhini is Sat. Sat, Chit, Ananda are the three potency. If you break it, I want to be always happy in a single statement are the fundamental force of every living entity. Being Supreme Personality of Godhead, the supreme whole of Sandhini, Sambiti, and Hladini or Satchit Ananda, and fragmental portion living entity also possess this. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Ananda means I want to be happy. How you want to become happy? You are knowledgeous that how you can make yourself happy. You apply all of your required knowledge to make you happy, and you have the meta knowledge of your happiness. So this is knowledge. With knowledge you want to be happy, so knowledge is the fundamental force behind your seeking happiness. And how long you want to happy? You want to be always happy. So that is Sat, eternity. See, these three are the fundamental forces which every living entity is looking after. Everybody is running after how he can be always happy. That is because being part and parcel to support this happiness in the platform of the living entity. Some living entity are in the platform of Chit Shakti. Some are not. Chit and Achit. Dui Vaibhava. Antaranga, Bahiranga. There are two Vaibhava. Antaranga means internal potency. Bahiranga means external potency. Living entity has the provision to remain eternally in association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and enjoy primary or permanent happiness. And it has also another provision. It can choose to enter into the material world, claiming the false lordship. It is like imitating with Supreme Personality of Godhead. Supreme Personality of Godhead is the master of everything. Isavasya Jat Kinchitya Jagatya Jagat. And living entity developed the desire to become lord over something. That's why he has chosen the material world. Sankhya Ananta Sukhatara Prayojana. Because part and parcel, everybody has this basic fundamental force that he want always happy, always happiness. But he has chosen the track of external energy by lording over external energy. So sometimes he is capable of owning Swargaloka, sometimes a single flat, or sometimes a mere cottage or nothing even in the street. Whatever he get, or whatever followers he get, whatever merits he get, with that he try to claim that I am great, I am Lord, I am happy. And such happiness is bewildered because that is not permanent and it brings side effect immediately. So to facilitate such living entity, both the things: one, what they want, let them continue; second, let them get realized or satiated from their position. And being facilitated by the various incarnations, various pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, elevate himself to the platform and get an apprentice of practicing Paravyama in this world itself. Dham, at anyway, is a replica of spiritual abode, so that living entity get the apprentice. Means when you study, you complete your study, you should do some apprentice to get proper experience of the study. Similarly, Lord facilitated this living entity to participate in his pastime so that they can make themselves eligible to enter into the spiritual abode. So Lord takes various incarnations always. Jiva, who is the marginal tattva, has this, that it can become Nitya Mukta Parsada or it can remain as Nitya Baddha. Nitya Baddha had two states. One state is called Antarmukha, other state is called Bahirmukha. When living entity forget Krishna, then he try to enjoy without remembering Krishna, without offering his homages to Krishna. That is Bahirmukha Jiva. And to facilitate Bahirmukha Jiva, Lord has various external energies, various vibhuti and three guna, sattva, raja, tama, the entire cosmic manifestation is Virata Purusha Rupa, Karanatapasai Vishnu. So Chit Shakti or Chit Vaibhava are three kind. Sandhini, Sambhiti and Ladini. We discussed that. When sun rises, it shows itself and eliminates all other substances. Similarly, Chit Shakti manifests itself as well as other objects. It is a conglomeration of Sandhini, Sambhiti and Ladini. So, Chit Shakti has the property called Visuddha Sattva. Visuddha Sattva means pure goodness. When there is no tinge of mixture of Raja or Tama, then that will be regarded as pure goodness. Just like water, if there is nothing mixed, distilled water, no minerals, nothing, pure water. So, similarly, when goodness only prevails, even not a single fractional percentage of Raja and Tama is absent, that is called Visuddha Sattva. So Bhagavan has this, his Swarupa Shakti appear in this, all together are called Visuddha Sattva. When all three are present in Hladini, Sandhini and Sambhiti, they are called Visuddha Sattva. But one particular guna, one particular guna like Sat, Chit or Ananda potency can become prominent among these to make a variations like Adhara Shakti. Adhara Shakti, when Sandhini Shakti expresses itself to the largest degree or large among three. So that is the combination actually. How a living entity uh, act on three modes of matter nature. Sattva, Rajascha, Sattva, Raja, cha Abhibhuya. Raja, Tamaschaiva, Tamaha, Raja, Sattva, Chaiva. So one of the quality overpower other two quality at any point of time. So that is called state and position of living entity. The state is that where so it will be remaining in one of the guna prominent at any point of time. So it is a mixture of sattva, raja and tama. What will be his aggregate behavior is the total amount of mixtures of sattva, raja and tama. So what you can say is average sattva, average raja, just like RGB, red, blue and green. If you mix three in a different portion, then it will give a color. So that color is the natural behavior of a living entity. It depends upon the percentage of raja, percentage of tama, and percentage of sattva. So that is his you can say that his life's behavior. However, among these three, one particular guna can become prominent at a point of time, and then again it can subdue it. Just like if you enter into the temple, your sattva can become prominent, your raja and tama will be down. So you will act on the basis of sattva guna. And suppose you go to opposite things like pub, bar, and other places, then what will happen? Then your raja and tama will be one of the quality will be overpowering, and then your act will be different. So same person can act differently. That's why it is advised in Bhagavad Gita, adhishtanam tatha karta vividas adhishtanam tatha karta karanam sa vividasya prathak chesta, daivi chaivatra panchakarana. So matter nature works under the supervision of the supreme personality of Godhead, which is the remote cause, and there are four immediate causes: the places where you make yourself present, the thought that is coming to your mind, your active senses, and your endeavors. These four things altogether makes one of the guna prominent at a point of time, and it can varies. If you change your places, you change your thought, you change your uh, senses eligibility. Sometimes if you fasting, your senses will be in a different mode. Sometimes you eat over food like rajaguna foods, then you will be acting differently. And sometimes when you are uh, in different kind of endeavor, sometimes you endeavor with lots of enthusiasm, and sometimes little enthusiasm, sometimes idle, sometimes lazy. So according to that only your guna react. So this kind of facilitations has been provided by the material nature under the supervision of supreme personality of Godhead. Similarly, Lord also has different chinmaya guna, like sat chit ananda, and one of the guna when prominent, then he takes a different form, like adhar shakti. When sandhin shakti become prominent, the form is adhar shakti. When sambit shakti, or the knowledge chit potency become prominent, then he takes the form which is called atma vidya. When Ladini Shakti become prominent, then he takes the form like Guhya Vidya. So the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Guhya Vidya. Murti, when all are in a equilibrium state, all three are in equal portions, Sandhini, Sambit and Ladini, then that is called Murti form. Visuddha Sattva. And all the various deity form you can see in this metal world to facilitate living entity offer their homages are all Visuddha Sattva. So one should not ever think that the deity forms are made up of wood or stone or like that. So that is foolishness. And there are particular forms in the further slides will explains how Murti manifests in this universe to facilitate living entity go back Godhead. So three main categories of Swarupa, Lord's form, are Swayam Rupa, Tadekatma Rupa, Avesa Rupa or Satyavesa. So Laghu Bhagavatamrita explains in detail. Swayam Rupas Tadekatma Rupa Avesa Namakaha Itiyasau Tividham Bhati Prapanchatita Dhamashu. So Krishna appears in three forms in his abode beyond the material worlds. Swayam Rupa, essential form, Tad Ek Atma Rupa, forms which are non-different from it, and Avesaru, empowered forms. So they are categorized primarily into six kind of expansions of Lord: Prabhava, Vaibhava, Satyavesa, Swansa, Ransa, or Kalamsa, Saisava, Kaishwara. So these are the various forms Lord takes. Can see Prabhava, Vilasa, Satyavesa, Amsa, Saisava, Kaishwara. So Antaranga Shakti or Chi Shakti or Surup Shakti or Parashakti are called internal energy. All are same. With this energy, Lord takes various incarnations. So the supreme abode where Lord present as he is, Golokeva Nivasati Akhilatma Bhuto, can sometimes takes many forms, just like during Dwarka pastimes. Lord present at 16,108 forms, and also same in residence. Also Gaurahari during Ratha Yatra present in all the seven mandals of Kirtan team, and everywhere seeing that Gaurahari present in my Kirtan team, like that. So Lord manifests in his own form, same form as Krishna. Similarly, Narayana, when Lord takes little different form, I mean, like Lord Krishna is two-armed, Narayana is four-armed form. Tad ek Atma Rupa. So, like from that four-armed forms, all other forms like Sankarsana, Vasudeva, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, they are coming from Narayana, first quadruple. And second quadruple, Sankarsana, Vasudeva, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, coming from the first quadruple Sankarsana. First quadruple Sankarsana, then again coming second quadruple from first quadruple Sankarsana. Second quadruple Sankarsana, Vasudeva, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna. Then Karanodakasai, Khirodakasai, Vishnu all comes from second quadruple Sankarsana. Two main categories of expansion, Prabhava and Vaibhava. So the permanent feature of Supreme Personality of Godhead with his pastimes like Prabhava are the fully potent forms and Vaibhava are partially potent forms. Internal potency Samvit, Sandhini and Hladini at the Chit Vaibhava. With this Adhar Shakti, Atma Vidya, Guhya Vidya, Murti. I already explained that. Swayam Rupa. Swayam Rupa I just explained that forms which is not dependent on other. It's called Swayam Rupa. Like in Dwarka pastimes, 16,108 rupas. Laghu Bhagavatamrita explains that in clear. Tatra Swayam Rupaha Ananyapekshi Yad Rupam Swayam Rupaha Savuchyate. So that is called Swayam Rupa, which is Krishna himself. Purnasya Purnamadha Purnameva Udachyate. So all the Krishna, all the 16,118 Krishna are same and non-different, are equal in everything. Categories of Swarupa. Swayam Rupa, Tadikatma Rupa, Avesa Rupa. Swayam Rupa means original form, we just discussed. Tadikatma Rupa is like little bodily difference, like Krishna is 200 and Tadikatma Rupa is 400, Vasudeva Rupa. So Vasudeva Rupa is Tad Eka Atma Rupa. Non-different but appear different in shape and activities. So that also again divided into two categories, Vilasa and Swansa. That will cover in further slides. Avesa Rupa, when one living entity such as Narada, Rishabhadeva or Kumaras, they are empowered with particular qualities. That is called Saktavesa Avatara. So Tadekatma Rupa, further manifestation you can see like this. So Swayam Rupa, then Swayam Rupa has Prabhava Prakasa and Vaibhava Prakasa. When he expands himself into many forms, 16,100 wives at Dwarka is Prabhava Prakasa. His form differently manifested according to differently emotional feature, like Balaram, Vaibhava Prakash. Okay. Tad Ekatma Rupa. That is all about Swayam Rupa. Now Tad Ekatma Rupa is Vilasa. So Swayam Prakasa is Prabhava Prakasa, Vaibhava Prakasa. Krishna himself is Swayam Rupa in Prabhava Prakasa, but Balaram is Vaibhava Prakasa of Swayam Prakasa or Swayam Rupa. So You can see Tad Eka Atma Rupa is not coming from Prabha Prakasa, it's coming from Vaibhava Prakasa or from Lord Baladev. So Tad Eka Atma Rupa is having Vilasa, and Vilasa is Prabhava Vilasa, which is having 4 quadruple. So Prabhava Vilasa having Vasudeva Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. No, next slide we'll discuss further. So these slokas are all confirmed in Laghu Bhagavatamrita. Tadekatma Rupa is divided into 2. What is that? Vilasa and Swansa. Let's discuss more about Vilasa. So Vilasa, that 4 quadruple form, the first Vilasa expansion is 4 quadruple, and from 4 quadruple Sankarsana. From Sankarsana, the Vaibhava Vilasa manifestations. The Prabhava Vilasa are the 4 quadruple, and the Prabhava Vilasa expansion is Sankarsana, quadruple. From him comes Vaibhava Vilasa, and from Sankarsana come Lord Narayana, and from Narayana Ditya Chaturvya comes Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and from Vasudeva 3 other forms, like these are the 12 months, designated 12 months. Kesava month is October, initial of October, before Damodara, and end month is second part of October and November is Damodara. Kesava, Govinda, and gradually all the 2 months you can count like that. Kesava, Narayana Madhava coming from Vasudeva, Sankarsana comes from Sankarsana, Govinda, Vishnu, Madhusudana, from Pradyumna, Trivikrama, Vamana, Sridhara, from Aniruddha, Hrishikesha, Pradyumna, and Damodara. So now you have seen the second quadruple, which is coming from Narayana, are the 4 Vishnu Tattva, and again 12 more Vishnu Tattva, altogether 16. Then from Vasudeva, another 2 manifestations come, Adhakshaja Purushottama, from Sankarsana come Upendra Achyuta, from Pradyumna come Nrsimha Janardana, from Aniruddha Hari and Krishna. Altogether 24 Vilas. There are total 24 places. That is covered in further slides. So you can see these Vilas Rupa adding Kalki and different kind of Leela avatars. They are also 25. So total 24 Vilas Rupa you can see here above. These are Vilas Rupa. Now we are coming to these are all spiritual world. Now these Vishnu forms are all in spiritual world. So from Sankarsana, Ditya Sankarsana, where is Ditya Sankarsana? Here you can see. From Ditya Sankarsana, the Purusha avatars comes, Swansa, the personal expansions, the Purusha avatar. Karanadakasai Vishnu, Garbhodakasai Vishnu, Khirodakasai Vishnu. Khirodakasai Vishnu abode is above Satya Loka. You can see in that universal diagram at the side of Satya Loka. It's called Besti Paramatma. And Garbhodakasai Vishnu enters into one universe. So he is Samashti Paramatma. And Purna Paramatma is Karanadakasai Vishnu for all universe, entire material creations. So Paramatma, Samashti Paramatma, Vesti Paramatma. These are the, so all 3 Purusha avatars are also Paramatma. But who is living everybody's heart is Vesti Paramatma, who is living as the Paramatma of one universe is Garbhodakasai Vishnu. The Paramatma of entire material cosmic manifestation is Karanadakasai Vishnu. So there are other avatars. Leela avatars are 25. Similarly, Guna avatar, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Avesa avatars, who is specifically empowered by the lords with knowledge or strength. There are Avesa avatars, Sakti Avesa avatars, Narada and others. Similarly, Yuga avatars, Shukla, Rakta, Syama, Krishna or Pita. So the Pita form comes only in the one day, once in a day of Brahma. That is, Lord Gorohari comes in Pita form, and Krishna also comes as Lord Jagannath. So Jagannath is also incarnation in the age of Kali, though he remains 50 years as Nilamadhav, 50 years as Jagannath. 50 year means Parardha, half of the life of Brahma. The Manvantara avatars are there of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Jagya, Vibhu, Satyasena, Hari, Ajita. So these are the various incarnations of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the region of various internal energies expansions are explained in Harinam Chintamani, Rasera Vibhava Alambana, for manifesting various pastimes and devotional millavs, Rasera. Vibhava means variations, Alambana means manifests. Soyam Prakasa, personal emanations. So various personal emanations like the Swayam Rupa Prakash of Ladini Shakti, such as Radharani, Chandravali, Rukmini, are called Prakasa of Tadakatma of Ladini Shakti. We have reached the time. We'll cover further in some other sloka, other day. There are a lot more to add, but cannot cover everything. Yeah. So 24 Pravas Vilas Murtis are here. Yes, Prabhuji. Some questions? Is there any questions? Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Yeah. Yeah, so suppose your sattva is always prominent, then you will be regarded as in sattva guna. But yet you are in guna. But when there is no chance at any point of time, there is no chance of raja and tama to come because it is not present. So when there is no presence of raja and tama at all, that means it is Visuddha Sattva. It is only possible in Vishnu Tattva. Even the story of Bhrugumani tested Brahmaji, Shivaji, and Vishnu. So Visuddha Sattva, no presence of Raja and Tamo, not even 0.1%. 0.0001% is not there. Not a little fragment of Raja or Tamo not available. That is Visuddha Sattva. Your question is that it is said that Sattva, Raja, and Tama are three. modes of matter nature. So Vishuddha Sattva is free from these gunas. That is correct. But the transcendental quality, Sattva Guna, when it is transcendental Sattva Guna, it's not having any tinge of Raja and Tamas. Like we try to understand the things with the modes we are, right? So when we try to understand how will be Visuddha Sattva, so it is like the exhibitions of pure Sattva is Visuddha Sattva. Are you understanding, Mataji? Yes. Suppose you are always in Sattva Guna, but there is possible when Lord Vishnu tests Shivaji. So either in Mohini Murti form or Bhugumuni's test. So Shivaji even could not pass that. That means even little presence of uh, Sat, Raja or Tamu are there, then that can manifest. But when there is absolutely no present, that is called Visuddha Sattva. Yes. Now Visuddha Sattva is having all three. That's why we are reading this, no? The mixture of these three things. Sandhini and Ladini and Sambit are all in equal portions. Here, no Raja and Tama. Visuddha Sattva is the mixture of Sandhini, Sambit, and Hladini. So initially, I tried to present that before talking about Visuddha Sattva. So there is no Raja and Tama at all here. Where is that guna? Visuddha Sattva is a mixture of equal portion of Sandhini, Sambit, and Hladini. Yes, it is completely different. So when a living entity, suppose a pure living entity, who is the greatest devotee. So at his state, when he was a practitioner, he was not perfected himself by the blessings of Supreme Personality until he became perfected. He was in modes of nature. But when he continuously remained a prolonged period in sattva only, never deviated to Raja and Tama. Same time, always engaged in the service of Lord, remembered Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then his sattva all transformed. The sattva transformed to Visuddha sattva. Now he is Gunatita. Traigunya Visaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. So that is Nistraigunya. So in a first class pure devotee, don't do any mistakes also, right? But when he is completely perfected in a prolonged state of sattva for a longer period, then all the sattva, raja, tama vanishes. He became Visuddha sattva. The manifestations of only Ladini, Sandhini, and Sambit present in him. A pure devotee who is perfected, who is uh, in the Parikara Shakti, who enjoin the Parikara Shakti, means associates of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Visuddha Sattva. Yes, yes. In the internal energy, this is completely internal energy. There is no external energy. Sattva, Rajatam are external energy. Handi, Ladin is, yeah, is internal energy. Correct. Any other questions? This topic is complex, so we need to understand carefully. Questions are important to understand. You can WhatsApp me. I will share. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Jai Guru Maharaj Sripad ki Jai, Sri Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari. You are asking me to tell something about symposium. You are the master of the ceremony. You please tell something. I want to listen from you.